Hey everybody, welcome back to another Jackson Jet Setting Resort Review. Today we are at the Disneyland Resort, one of my favorite places on the entire planet, checking out the Disneyland Hotel. Stayed here for 2 nights. We had my young infant in tow, so staying on property made a whole bunch of sense. We're going to check out all the awesome food that is available at the Disneyland Resort. We're also going to check out what there is to drink at the Disneyland Hotel, especially at Trader Sam's, which is one of the most popular bars in all of Disney World, Disneyland. Lots of hidden details within the bar, and the drinks are absolutely delicious. Spoiler alert, we stayed in the Fantasy Tower, which is right above the main lobby, and we were able to use the early access to Disneyland Park in the morning. You get an extra 30 minutes. So I'm going to show you how that process works. So let's check out this hotel from top to bottom, left and right. We're going to start in the front of the hotel. This is where you're going to drop your car off with the valets, unload all of your magical luggage, and head inside. Love the 1950s feel of this entire place. The fountains outside definitely match it, just those bright like 1950s colors. Of course, you got to have Mickey and Minnie welcoming you into the property as well. And if you've never been to Southern California, you got to know that the weather is pretty great year-round. They have lots of outdoor seating options right outside of the lobby, right near the bell desk. Lots of plant life here. The horticultural team just absolutely kills it at Disneyland. Loved the look of the planters as you walked in. So I'm walking into the main lobby through the valet and the bell desk. From parking my car in self-parking, it's just a short walk away. $40 a night for self-parking, which is a little rough, but it is Disneyland, so that's just the way it's going to go. Really love the 1950s theme as you walk in, and of course the Disneyland Hotel carpet. That's almost like a red carpet, just really a cool welcoming feature there. You can do digital check-in with Disney, which I did, and so it'll send you a text when your room's ready, and then you can use the Disneyland app to access your room. No need to go to the front desk unless you want to get something more specific, special request or something like that. If you do stop by the front desk, grab a physical key because they are a nice souvenir. They are themed to It's a Small World right now. Check out this map as well. We'll show you a little bit closer later. There's some cool hidden projector effects in there that kind of bring motion to what would otherwise be a static drawing of Disneyland. But here's the main front desk here. Over to the right, over to the left, lots of seating, including some cool booths that look just like the teacups over at Disneyland. Just another cool magical detail that takes you out from beyond the park's walls, the Disney property, and really transports you into vacation mode, which is just why I love staying on property at Disney. Even the chandeliers are in on the pixie dust, which is really cool. So let's take a closer look at that map. You can see the Jungle Cruise's smokestacks are going here. There's also some cool elevator effects over at the very retro looking Disneyland Hotel. So they used to have a golf course here, believe it or not. This is an actual map from the 1950s or 60s, I believe. Just another fun hidden detail that makes this Disneyland Hotel that much more special. So let's go explore the rest of the property here. We're going to start in the Fantasy Tower. So let's go and check out the rest of the Fantasy Tower here. You're going to have the main gift shop for the hotel, the Fantasia shop. Here, this is going to be your main souvenir shop. So all the gifts that you want to take home with you, maybe remember your stay, you're going to find this here in the Fantasy shop. So we're going to walk through here, check out some of the merchandise. We stayed in early 2024. So this merchandise is always going to be cycling through. Disney's always got something new to sell you, of course. Beautiful shop, though. Lots of fun items in here. Very tempting for sure. One little tidbit is if you do have the Disney Visa gift card, you can save 10% on merchandise purchases. And if you have the annual pass, what is now called, I guess, a magic key, you can save as well with that. Walking out of the shop, you're going to see a sales center for the new tower at the Disneyland Hotel. It's the Discovery Tower, and it's actually a part of Disney's Vacation Club, or DVC. So you can sign up to do a little tour in here. They have some models of the tower, but we're going to walk through the tower itself because it's now open, just opened a few months ago. So if you're looking for a brand new room, you can actually rent those rooms even if you're not a member of DVC. We just opted to stay in the Fantasy Tower because we just wanted the cheapest room that would fit all 5 of us in there, including my infant son. And as you'll see later in the video, it did an amazing job of fitting all of us. I really liked the design of the room, so stay tuned to the end of the video to see a full tour of what a base level room looks like here at the Disneyland Hotel. Love all of the historic art on the walls throughout this hotel. It's definitely worth just wandering the hallways here. Even if you're not here for a convention, you can see lots of history on the walls here in the convention center area, which is where we're walking right now. So we're walking away from the main lobby. Lots of big conventions halls here at the Disneyland Hotel. I've been here before for some D23 events, and they can squeeze in a whole bunch of people in here. But there's, of course, the famous Disneyland drawing that was done in one weekend just to kind of get a proof of concept on paper, commissioned by Walt Disney by one of his artists. Lots of cool memorabilia here on the walls too. And this is, of course, just 1/100th of 1% of what is the history of merchandise here at Disneyland, but it's cool to see all the stuff that, you know, definitely predates my times going to the parks. So it's really cool that they preserve all their history there on the wall, and you can walk in and see it yourself. Now we're walking into what is kind of a hub for both the convention center as well as most of the main dining here at the Disneyland Hotel. And what I like about this area is it does have a whimsical feel, some hidden Mickeys for sure, and then there's an Autopia car that the kids can actually go climb into as well, so it definitely has that placemaking, making you feel like you are right next door to Disneyland, which you basically are. Heading upstairs in the convention center area, if you're here for an event, you're going to see a lot of art on the walls. This is also where they do some weddings, I believe, as well. But also you might make your way through this area if you choose to self-park in the garage, which actually has a little section that you can enter from right here. So just keep that in mind. If you are parking, you can actually choose the garage instead of the surface lot like I did. So moving back downstairs, we're going to check out some of the restaurants on property. Unfortunately, one of my favorite restaurants from college, I went to school right down the street from Disneyland. Steakhouse 55 is still closed down. I think they're going to retheme it at some point, but that restaurant's completely closed. Hope they open that again. But right next to what is Goofy's Kitchen, which we'll show you in a sec, is a rethemed lounge type experience. It used to be just called the Lounge Bar, but they've rethemed it to Sleeping Beauty, which is cool. So there's a little bit more of a Disney flair to this place. Here they have your typical lounge cocktails like old fashions, as well as a very good burger. So check this place out if you're heading into the Disneyland Hotel, and definitely take note of the walls. Just a nice, fancy, whimsical feel to this place, which is kind of the theme of this section of the Disneyland Hotel. Right next to the lounge is going to be Goofy's Kitchen. You can enter from the outside or inside. And so this is going to be your character dining. It's open for breakfast, brunch, and dinner. It's got a really fun, cartoony feel to it because it is Goofy's Kitchen. They got an area that you can meet Goofy in that has, like, it's his kitchen, basically, right out of a cartoon. And you're not only going to meet Goofy, but all of Goofy's friends. So you got Chip and Dale I saw in there. I saw Minnie Mouse walking through. I saw Mickey. So pretty much the whole gang is going to be in here and worth the price of admission. Of course, it's character dining, so it's going to be a little bit more pricey than your normal restaurant. I walked through here during breakfast, and they had a great breakfast spread going on. So lots of different areas for both kids and adults to dine before heading over to the parks, or if you're just hanging out at the hotel for the day. So right next door is going to be the coffee house. This, of course, is going to have coffee and some light pastries in the morning. I didn't really detect much of a Disney theme in this place, but did visit multiple times because I needed a coffee to get my day going. Now let's start our walk around the Disneyland Hotel's outdoor areas. We're going to go explore some of the other hotel towers on property here, as well as some of the pools. Unfortunately, during our visit, the main pool, which is going to be the most popular thing for kids and adults, honestly, is the monorail slide. So there's two slides that are themed to the 1950s monorails. Fortunately, that was under construction, under renovation while we were here. But you're going to see that over to the right, they have the awesome original Disneyland sign, or at least a recreation of it. And that's going to be the tower that holds the monorail slides. And then the colorful building to the right is the brand new Villas Tower. So that's the Discovery Tower. We're going to walk through that in just a second. There are several other pools available, though, here at the Disneyland Hotel, especially one brand new one at the new Villas. So you have the D ticket pool as well as the E ticket pool. These are just going to be your standard hotel pools. No gigantic theme by any means, but there is a hot tub, and that's located right next to the Fantasy Tower right there in frame. So that's a tower that we were staying in during our visit. It's a nice pool complex, though. It opens at 10 a.m. in the morning and stays open until shortly after sunset. So not a huge amount of hours, but if you want like just a hotel day instead of going into the parks, you do have that option here. Now walking up here right next to the Adventure Tower is the Tangaroa Terrace. So this is a part of another restaurant complex here at the Disneyland Hotel. So this is going to be your to-go breakfast, lunch, and dinner spot. It's going to have very Hawaiian, very tropical Polynesian style items. Really, really good food here, though. Really good quality. It's on the mobile order on the Disneyland app, which is really helpful as well. There's a lot of outdoor seating here, and they have a walk-up bar to grab cocktails that are basically the same as indoors at Trader Sam's. So if you can't find a spot indoors at Trader Sam's, it does get very popular and there's not a ton of seating. You can grab cocktails right at the walk-up window outside. And inside is some seating, but not a ton of space, but it's got a really great tropical feel, great soundtrack going on. So if you're staying here on the Disneyland Hotel property, definitely check this place out, especially on the inside. I don't want you to miss any cool details. If you do like these types of videos, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already on the channel. At least like this video. It's an awesome, awesome channel, if I do say so myself, and I put a lot of work into it. So thanks a lot for all the positive comments from everyone over the years. I'm excited to grow the channel and experience more properties and hopefully help you guys save money on your next vacation. Here's another look at sort of the busier times here at the Tangaroa Terrace with that long wait for the walk-up bar. We grabbed some food here, split it as a family, and the poo-poo platter was really great. I thought a pretty good value. So check out the menu. You can do the mobile order. It makes it super easy. Around the corner from the Tangaroa Terrace is going to be the entrance to Trader Sam's. As I mentioned, Trader Sam's is an awesome bar that's open in the evenings. They're going to have really cool tiki drinks and a lot of souvenir tiki mugs. They have some cool interactions that happen when you order certain drinks. The bartenders in here are just awesome. It's definitely a place that you want to hang for a while, so it is worth the wait and definitely an experience that you definitely do not want to miss if you're staying here at the Disneyland Hotel. There is some outdoor seating near this fireplace that isn't a part of the bar necessarily, but it's a nice place just to enjoy, catching up with friends and family after a long day in the parks. So we're going to turn over here and make our way over to the Frontier Tower. So the Frontier Tower is going to be themed to Frontierland. Each one of these towers kind of has a theme that relates back to the Disneyland park. And one cool thing I love about this tower is that there's a really cool fountain out front that reminds me exactly of Frontierland. This is one thing I just love about the Disneyland Hotel and Disney hotels in general, is this is a detail that if you weren't just sitting around and wandering around the property, you were not going to notice this. And through the magic of editing, I'm going to show you exactly what that is. This definitely reminded me of Wilderness Lodge over at Walt Disney World as well, if you've been there. So we're going to go explore inside the Frontier Tower here. No restaurants or any shops in the Frontier Tower itself, but you do have certain rooms that are more themed to Frontierland. You have a Frontierland suite. That's a very high dollar item, but it is available to rent for the evening. You do have an awesome model of Frontierland as well, or a Big Thunder Mountain rather. I love these models because it's just so fun to stare at all the details and just all the thought that goes into every ride that you wait so long for in the Disneyland park. It's really awesome just to see all the concept art on the walls here. It's an attraction in itself. And the Frontier Tower does have its own little drop-off area here. This is where the DVC tours actually happen. This is like the DVC building back here. Not really in use for major drop-offs or like guest traffic right now, but I think during busy times or maybe a certain group might be able to utilize this. And the only other public spaces inside the Frontier Tower are a few small meeting rooms, so you can meet here outside of the main convention complex here in the main lobby. Now next door, let's go check out the Discovery Tower. These are the villas at the Disney Vacation Club. Do love the theme of the Discovery Tower. It's got, there's no Discovery Land necessarily at Disneyland, but it does have a lot of fanciful details and just helps you kind of dive into the thought process of the animators that created all the Disney classics. There's just a lot of like animation notes and like how that process goes inside, which is really cool. Cool little pixie dust there on the ground. Of course, a welcome home sign for those that are owners at Disney Vacation Club. And you might have noticed these awesome color bands going up the building. These are actually the average colors of certain Disney movies as you make your way through the film. So you can see Sleeping Beauty right there. It's all the colors of Sleeping Beauty, and they have a bunch of different Disney films. Each one of those rows or columns, rather, are different Disney films. So it's pretty cool to check out. Very unique thing for sure. Lots of areas here to hang out. Again, the Vacation Club towers and properties are a little bit different because a lot of the folks coming to stay are not maybe going to the park every day. They are going to go play cards in the lobby. They want a place to hang out, maybe grill. So there are those options here at the villas at Disneyland. And since this tower did open in late 2023, they have an updated mural here with a lot of Disney classics, a lot of new Disney classics as well. So you'll see a lot of cool stuff here in this tower. It's definitely worth exploring around, especially if you're a big fan of like the Disney animation. Now there was still a little bit of construction going on, mostly because the monorail section for the slides, as I mentioned, was under construction. So normally you could walk your way through this and pop out and go head back to where we came from. This was kind of early in the morning, but this is what the area looks like. This is a new restaurant on property. This is the Palm Breeze Bar. So this is going to be the only restaurant over in this section, but it's going to be located right next to the awesome pool. There's a cool Steamboat Mickey splash pad. And this is all done with the magic of editing because the pool was not open when I was walking around. A small little artist palette pool, so that's kind of shaped like a artist palette there. And then they actually have some really unique hotel rooms and villas that are located right next to the pool here on the ground level. That's pretty cool. Here's a look at the Disneyland monorail slides at night. Really a cool look to them. Really wish I got to go down them, but they were closed for refurbishment. That's just the way it goes. But I love the light up Disneyland sign at night. It's just really cool to see. Lots of cool plants, as I mentioned earlier around. You, of course, saw Mickey Mouse right here in the ground, which is really cool. In the Discovery Tower 2 is going to be the fitness room for the entire resort, as well as guest laundry. So laundry is going to be free for DVC members. If you're renting the room just straight from Disney, unfortunately, you still have to pay. But it is nice to have this option on property. As a father of a young son, it's really important to have laundry facilities on vacation nowadays. So you do have that option here. Pricing pretty reasonable, and it's located right next to the gym as well as the pool, so you can probably pop in and check in on your laundry and be doing something else more fun than doing laundry on vacation. The fitness center, being less than a year old, is also super nice. They have Peloton bikes. They have some of those like mirror type fitness items on the wall that help you stretch and do other things. All very high tech, very fun stuff. Now I did want to check out the Rose Lawn. So this is a big special event space here. It's going to be located in between the Frontier and the Adventure Towers. You can see the new Pixar Place Hotel off in the distance that had just opened when we were staying here on property. So we didn't manage to check that out as well. But really cool lawn here for a lot of weddings. Seen a lot of weddings over the years here. And of course there's just a nice rose garden all around. So it's really a nice place. Of course you have the famous wedding gazebo here too. So that's just a really nice place to do a very special event if you are in the market for it. Not cheap by any means, but feel free to invite me. Have a Disney wedding is on my bucket list. I really do want to get an invite to one of those. Really cool plant life here near the Adventure Tower. So you are in the Adventure Tower, you got cool carpets, really cool sense of place. The plants bring you there too. They just did a really good job. A lot of subtle little details here throughout the Adventure Tower. You can even tell that the chandeliers are a little bit more tropical. You have, of course, the Adventureland concept art on the walls and a few little models from the Jungle Cruise, but nothing like massively scaled like the Big Thunder model from the Frontier Tower. Here's one more look at the main pool complex from a little bit of a different angle. You can see how big the e-ticket pool actually is. And then you have Tangaroa Terrace over there to the left, and the entrance to Trader Sam's up ahead. So now let's go explore a little bit outside of the Disneyland Hotel. So we are on property at the Disneyland Resort. We are located really, really close to the Disneyland Park as well as Disney's California Adventure. You have to walk through downtown Disney to get there though, or you can take the monorail, which anyone can use, but it's going to be located the closest to the Disneyland Hotel. So this is going to open right when the Disneyland Park opens as well. You can have your first ride of the day straight off the bat. So this is the second gate of Disneyland, which is really cool. You're going to have to walk through this awesome sorcerer's hat right here at the entrance to the hotel. And then you do have to clear security before you get into the downtown Disney area. So once you clear security, you don't have to do it again at the park. It's all done right there. There is a line in the morning, but nothing too crazy. We're back here in the Fantasy Tower. We're going to check out a few more things that we missed in our first pass through. So you have the small world shop here. This is going to have more of your to-go items, a few souvenirs, but a lot of things that like maybe you forgot at home, or if you need like a soda or something, this is going to be where you're going to grab it. Now, I did a little bit of a breakfast to myself while everyone else was sleeping in the room. I grabbed a kid's meal with some Mickey-shaped Japanese pancakes, which were absolutely delicious. Do recommend that. Love the gates of the pool too, with those monorail slides right there in bronze. Just a really nice spot to maybe listen to a podcast in the morning, just relax a little bit. Really, really nice way to start the day. Love all the topiaries too, with of course Mickey, Minnie, and Pluto, celebrating Valentine's Day, which was around the time that we stayed here. And now we're going to make our way up to my room here in the Fantasy Tower. So a little bit of a different vibe in the Fantasy Tower compared to the other towers. As you can see, kind of have it's a small world feel to it. That's at least the attraction that I most notice here in this tower. And so we stayed here in room 2011. So this is really, really cool. So as you walk in, you're going to see to the left here is the main bathroom. You have a closet for all of your hanging clothes. You have a little makeup desk. No chair to speak of necessarily, but a nice little makeup area that you can get ready. You have your glassware, your ice bucket, and your coffee machine. And then that closet's going to store a lot of stuff in there. You actually have robes, so a nice little high-end touch there from Disney. And some extra pillows and blankets up top there. Since this room can fit 5 adults, believe it or not, I was a little skeptical, honestly. I've stayed in a lot of hotels. I'm like, I'm not really sure how they're going to design this, but I'll show you in a sec how comfortable it actually was. And so this bathroom's also laid out great for groups sharing a room. So you have the toilet that's in its own room. You have a shower and sink that's out here separate from that. So people can be getting ready, also using the restroom. Multiple things can be happening here in the bathroom with multiple people, and everyone has their own little private space, which is really great. So I do think that they did a great job designing that bathroom. Worked really great for our family. Now we're going to walk into the main bedroom area. You have a nice desk here. Love the Mickey Mouse in the lamp. Lots of small details that we'll point out in a second with this room. 2 queen beds. Lots of storage under those queen beds for those suitcases. They do a great job throughout any Disney property, really, with the storage of luggage. Nice big welcome on the big screen TV there. And there's that couch that actually folds into a bed. It's not a pull-out couch, but actually a bed that flips out. We'll show you how that works in a second. A little bit of a view out the front. Not really like a park view or anything like that, but we did see fireworks in the evenings, which is really cool. Love the headboards for these rooms too. It's got the Sleeping Beauty Castle and a nice little touch Kiss Goodnight that we'll show you in a sec how that looks. Really, really cool. Just a little bit of extra Disney magic. Like I said, we were on the second floor, so not a great view by any means, but we're really not here for the view. We're here to enjoy the property, go into the theme parks. We're not here for a super long time. That wasn't that big of a deal to us. One thing to note are the Keurig machines have the Joffrey's coffee, which is kind of special to Disney itself. Lamps had the Mickey hands, which is really cool. Still had the H2O branded amenities from Disney. And you actually had shampoo and body wash make the transition over to the Disneyland Hotel branded in the shower there. Another look at the lamp that I loved. Then here's the cool little Kiss Goodnight. You have some fiber optic effects, as well as When You Wish Upon a Star playing kind of as a lullaby. It's really, really cool and something that you can't get in another hotel. Here's me dragging out this bed, super easy to fold out. Of course, you can use those extra pillows and blankets to fill out the bed there. And there is a mini fridge in the room, but we actually stored something that we needed to keep frozen with the bell desk for the baby's milk, so that was really cool. If you made it this far in the video, you must be a big Disneyland fan. What is your favorite part of Disneyland? What's your favorite ride? Let me know in the comments. How beautiful is this resort though? I just love walking through this place. It's not really gigantic in terms of like acreage like some of the Disney World resorts that I've grown to love, but it's just got so much charm. I mean, especially the inside of Trader Sam's right here. We weren't able to dine inside on this trip just because the wait was too long, but this is where the restrooms are for the outside, so you're able to come in and at least look at the ambiance a little bit. Just love the faux windows here that occasionally erupt. It's just really a fun place. I don't want to spoil all the surprises, but definitely check it out if you are on property. Loved the Mai Tais here. Trader Sam's, it is an absolute hit. Don't miss it. Cool little smoke ring coming from the World of Color over at Disney's California Adventure. And then, as I mentioned, Roman got to see fireworks from the safety of our room, which is really cool. It's about 6:40 in the morning. We're walking over to grab some coffee before rope drop. We're rope dropping! Woo, got our Joffreys! So yeah, Disneyland does let you in 30 minutes early if you're staying on property. That's a great perk, not as necessary, I don't think, as Disney World, but we were able to get in 3 rides in that time, 2 laps on Space Mountain, as well as 1 small Fantasyland ride. Really an awesome perk for sure, so definitely take advantage if you're staying at the Disneyland Hotel. It's one of the things you're definitely paying for. But if you made it all the way to the end of the video, I want to thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Thanks a lot. Tell your friends about the channel. We'll see you on the next adventure.